Good evening. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the SRA Grid Report. We're on our penultimate episode of the season, and that means we're also in the penultimate round of the GT3 Championship. Silverstone was the race, Britain was the place. Once again, I'm back with Bailey Kish. How are you doing tonight, sir?
Feeling a little blurry. I don't know about you.
Yeah, we've used the power of technology to do some background blurring here, so it should
Call it
help clean
special
things up a little
effects.
bit. Yeah, a little special effects, because we want to be special. Prepped as always with the drink. What are we on tonight, Bailey?
Run some corn can Bush Light
Bush
for the
Light.
farmers.
Not too
Yes.
bad.
This is liquid gold in a can.
All right. Whatever that means.
Also,
Whatever that means.
got some liquid death for myself tonight as well. Gotta stay hydrated.
Hell yeah. There you go, man. I've heard that stuff's pretty good. I haven't tried it
It's
yet.
I'm on my fourth can for tonight.
Sweet. Sweet. Gotta stay hydrated. But,
Absolutely.
like I said, Silverstone, great place to set ourselves up for the final round of the season. And with it, I mean, attendance was a little bit lower, but brought some great racing as always. There's a lot of fun places to go for overtakes, and there was plenty of opportunities through all of these divisions. Next week we got that finale at our new track, Valencia, which is already shaping up to be a whole bunch of fun. I mean, I just went out for my first few laps, and I mean, as much as I wasn't finding the fastest times, Bailey was having a peek while I was driving. It
Pretty
feels like it's
dogs.
a, yeah, exactly. But it feels like it's a lot of fun. It's got a nice flow to it. The braking points are tough, but or like they're easy, but not too easy. Like in a crowd, they'd be kind of hard to spot, but when you're out there,
Yeah,
it's gonna be interesting.
I agree. And there's a lot of runoff in some locations, and then there's gravel in others. So
Really got
gotta
to
pick a
pick your battles.
choice. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sometimes it's not worth it. Sometimes it's what do you got to lose?
yeah. And there's as anybody who's ever watched a race there, in real life knows, it's pretty equivalent in ACC track turn one track limits, pretty wide. You can abuse it, so it's
Very.
gonna be interesting to see how these races pan out on the broadcast. That's for sure.
Absolutely. I think it's going to be another race of little
Fun?
overtaking. That
Eh,
too.
maybe. I don't know. I think it could be hectic, but before
I
we
think
get
so
too
as
far
well.
ahead of ourselves, let's take a look at Silverstone. And yeah, I mean, starting at Cops is, I think, the better way to do it for these GT3 cars. It proved that everybody stayed really close together through the start of these races, and I think if that was one of the first big braking zones or one of the first opportunities to go for an overtake, that'd be a lot of chaos.
Absolutely. And I think with the starting line being so far um, on that straight there, it kind of gives those in the back the opportunity to be on. It's not necessarily a straight, but it's straight enough to where it's not as much of a turn
Yeah,
to still fully gas it.
they're definitely all the way through that little bit of a kink. They don't have to worry about really picking a straight line. They can just
Yeah,
go.
yeah, for sure.
But with its advantages, I mean, everybody got a full-blown run into Maggots Beckett's, and
Well,
that was wild. I mean, a pretty full run. You're a little bit under speed, but you're still
yeah,
flat out.
some people didn't quite make it that far, but
That is true. As everybody tries to get through there, two wide, some scenarios even three wide, filing back into one, somebody is going to run out of room. And
absolutely.
unfortunately, some people found the grass, some people were facing the wrong way. Shout out very early. One of the D2 lap 1 incidents, Joao got spun around in maggots and ended up finishing in front of me. I believe it was towards, I think it was inside the top 20
Yes,
or close
he
to the
was
top 20.
rapid.
So very good recovery drive, and yeah, I mean that's Silverstone for you. There's always action, and when you're battling for position, you do lose a lot of lap time.
Yes.
Like it hurts your lap time.
Yeah, well,
I would say three seconds in some scenarios if it's more than
it
one
depends.
opportunity for an overtake.
I was gonna say it depends on how long that battle goes for.
For sure, and which section of the track too. But
Yeah.
a lot of the track does yield itself to battles flowing from corner to corner. There's a lot of opportunity to get a good run back, even from the inopportune position on the track.
hmm And
So
I think it helps also that there's a lot of left-right switches immediately, so you could have the inside corner, but then outside corner the next immediately right after that. So each person has the equal opportunity. It's just about the confidence and who has that ability to finish the overtake.
that's right. Being able to maximize at that right time is realistically what it's come down to this season. It hasn't always been the big flashy move or who's been able to make the most positions on lap one. As much as that does make a big help, it's those who have been able to stick it out in the tough battles that last a few laps and take that opportune two positions or three positions, and you know that's sometimes the make or break.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's take a look at some of these results here. Division 8, Rob Moorhead takes pole position with a 2 minute .612. Jeremy Yaron in second at 201.205, and Jason Yaron 201.467. So pretty decent split from P1 to P2, but P3 right there. But nice for two teammates to be starting right up at the front. And although one of them did not finish in the top three, one of them did and managed to take the win. Jeremy Yaron found himself taking the win just 1 second ahead of Simone Barnes in second place. Rob Moorhead down in third for Planny Racing. What is that? 16 seconds behind. So a little bit of a gap there, probably a strategy difference or something like that, because Rob actually had the faster lap times. So I'm wondering if maybe there was some damage early on or a longer pit stop. I know the entry can be tough into Silverstone.
hmm
A lot of people a lot of people opting to brake super early. I know myself, I got comfortable a couple times trying to go very hard to the line, and when I tried to pull it out in race scenario, I'd almost always hit the wall.
Uh,
So,
yeah, I was the one to bomb it, get as close as I can, but
so
other people in front of me didn't have the same idea,
yeah.
shall we say?
And sometimes just having that approach, I mean, which it is what it is, you know. So sometimes you got to take the safe approach. You want to take the safe approach. It's not worth it
hmm
trying to hit the wall and add 15 seconds to your pit stop. But just that much of a slowdown before can add an immense amount of time to your overall time in pits. Can't even see
Yeah,
my air quotations.
hmm. They're too blurry.
Too blurry, too blurry, too many special
Too
effects.
blurry.
But great racing from Division 8. Just going to pull up the championship standings real quick as we go into the final round here. A little bit underprepared.
Oof, unlucky. Good thing I was prepared.
Perfect. You want to give us some rundown?
Yes, for sure. Jeremy Uron actually, with the win, has a championship lead of 23 points ahead of Mark DC. Um, Behind him, 13 points is Kyle Cumber, who we don't see on the podium. So, I mean, 36-point differential from P1 to P3. Well, let me go even further. Simon Barnes, 39 points behind Jeremy Uron. So, anybody in the top four could win it this week.
That's going to make for a very eventful Division 8 race.
Yes. and
and
I,
and a good
funny, it's
variety
funny.
of cars too.
It's funny because I got a DM today from Mark DC asking if I could give him some help around Valencia so he can win this championship. And I said, Mark, I'll do anything for you to get this win. So
Attaboy.
expect Mark DC to walk away with this DA championship.
There we go. You heard it here first, folks. Mark DC. Keep an eye out. But taking a look at the silvers specifically, we got Roger Dismukes in first place at 427, Y-Boy Blue in second, just 25 points behind, and Rookie F in third, 31 points behind. Even fourth, Rob Warren, only 38 points behind. Anybody in the top
Yeah.
four can take the silver championship alone, so still
Mm-hmm.
lots of opportunity to drink from a shoe.
Absolutely. Kind of gross, but
Hey man, it's all for the fun. And looking at the team championships, it's pretty close at the top two. Third place seems to be locked out. They're in a little bit of a freestanding zone between the two, got a 100-point buffer in each direction. Plan E Racing, though, in first place, 913 points. Dark Helmet Motorsports OBDA in second, 903, only 10 points back. And Hamster Powered Racing at 810 in third place. So it's like I said, third place seems to be kind of locked out. 701 in fourth place behind Ghost Rider Racing, back markers. I mean, if Mark takes a win in Valencia, that's 110 points, so
yeah.
it could bring them up towards third place. But with Jason Yaron and Jeremy Yaron in second place on that second place team, I mean, it's kind of tough to. I mean, even Kyle Cumber, Rob Moorhead, and Plan E in the first place team, like those are typically who we're talking about in each one of these race reviews. So
Yeah.
you know
Yeah,
what I
for
mean?
sure. Mark DC is in there occasionally, but
And
it
not
is
counting him
pretty
out at
tough.
all. But
No,
I
no,
mean,
no, no.
when you've got
Not this week.
no, when you've got the consistent group of podium finishers in those top two championship spots, it's kind of hard to count them out for the last race. But hey, anything
I
can
get it.
happen. This is
Exactly.
for
New
most
track.
for most people, Valencia is a new track. To some people, it's a favorite track that they haven't driven in a long time
I was
from
going to say it's probably
different games.
95% new for SRA.
Yeah, I'd say about the same. But I know that those who are getting onto it early or even just now are enjoying it a lot. I've seen a couple people have some very interesting takes. I'll phrase it, saying that the track is not good, and the community has let them know that it's okay with having an incorrect opinion sometimes. But that's okay,
I will say,
everyone's got their tracks, right? Can't like them
I'm
all.
surprised they added this track out of anything. I was expecting maybe like a Hockenheim, maybe, or
Hockenheim
uh,
to me made sense as
that's what
well.
I thought too.
Yeah, and I mean, hey, we may still get it if they feel like pushing back the next Assetto Corsa game to make it even better. Maybe they decide to throw Hockenheim and the Mustang at us or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So fingers crossed, and if not, maybe it'll be in the next game.
we'll see.
But Valencia is still a pretty damn good track. Adds a little bit
I
of
agree.
variety, something a little bit faster. It feels faster, anyways.
It does feel a lot faster.
Moving on to Division 7, Jose Herrera takes pole position with a 2-minute 9:32. Richard Schultz in second place with a 2-minute 9:70. And Tony Swan in third with a 2:01.087. So real close between those three. That's
Very close.
5 hundredths of a second splitting them. If I'm doing no,
Nope.
1.5.
There you go. Yeah, that's better.
So yeah, still
Tenth and a half.
tenth and a half, very close. In the race, out of nowhere, Matt Anderson brings his BMW up to the win, 10 seconds clear of Richard Schultz in second place, and Jose
Ooh.
Herrera another 11 seconds back down the road. So pretty large splits in Division 7. Interesting to see that, but a massive pace difference. Matt Anderson with his fastest race lap being a 2 minute .690
Yeah.
compared to the other two at a 2 minute 2152 and a 2 minute 2225. That's a lot of twos. But yeah, I mean that's a significant pace difference, and I think I can understand now why he made his way from off the starting three to that top position.
Yeah. Kind of curious as to where he started from.
We can check that really quickly if you want to take a look at the championship standings.
Sure can. Good thing I got that up. Matt Anderson, I can tell you why he's up there. He is actually leading the Division 7 championship at the moment by only 5 points, though, to Dan Meyer, who we don't see on the podium at all. Behind him, we got Kaden McCoy sitting in the P3 spot with a 63-point deficit to Matt Anderson. Um, kind of a tough battle to take there, but anything can happen, like we said. Stephanie Fisher in the fourth position, 81 points behind, and then Christian Moriz is 103 points back. So D7 as well, coming down to the wire to the last track. Matt Anderson is actually a silver driver and is leading the championship.
That's really awesome to see,
Yeah.
and with the gap to second place, and with Dan not being on the podium tonight, that means Matt took first place in that race, more than likely.
Hmm.
And coming into this last race, I think he's going to have a good chance. But I really don't know at this point what Valencia favors. I think it's just I don't know who's going to be able to find the pace.
Talent, I think, is
Ex-
what it's going to be.
exactly. But to answer the question from earlier, Matt started in P7,
Oh, okay.
so not a whole lot of work to make up, but still it's
You have
there's a
to
lot of
overtake.
there's a lot of opportunity to overtake at Silverstone, but it's still not the
Yes.
easiest to overtake.
No, it's really not. Not bad then. Yeah, but um, like I said, Matt is leading the silver championship, and he does have it locked up because the gap to P2 silver is 128 points, and you can only get 110 in one race. So Matt Anderson has at least won the silver championship
Well done.
and potentially the entire Division 7 championship.
So he's got one shoey to do, and possibly two if he really
Ooh,
wants to have some fun. Take both shoes, do the double fist.
potentially. That's brutal.
But as we
That's a
look at
lot.
the team championships, we can crown our first champion so far. Bitch Peas of Stephanie Fisher and Dan Meyer, 916 points, 249 points clear of Wonderland Racing.
That's wild.
I think that's near impossible to. Yeah, that is impossible to catch. Max a team could pull is 219 points, I believe.
Uh,
First, second place is
211, I think.
okay, but still not enough. So
Yeah, I think you can only get 211 in one race. Because
that
P2 gets 100 points, right?
we are checking.
We got to checking. I think it's 110 for P1, 100 for P2, and then one fastest lap. And I guess one for quali, so 112 or 212.
Correct. So 110 and 100, and then 92 for third place. But yeah, so congratulations, bitch peas. But with that, the race for P2 is on because Wonderland Racing 667, Midpack Mafia 632, Cannonball Motorsports 611, Ghost Rider Racing Drivers at 600. That's P2 to P5. Any of those drivers could find themselves, or those teams could find themselves up in the podium of the team championships after this last race here.
Yeah, anything. It's all the gaps aren't super close, but they're close enough.
Yeah, it's like I don't know, that's 50, 60, 65 points, 60,
Hmm.
68 points, something like that. So
Yeah.
you get one of those drivers up in the top. And I mean, Jose Herrera, Matt Anderson, Connor Farrell's been performing really well when he finds a track that he likes.
Hmm.
So any one of those drivers could put the team on their back and carry him up onto the podium. It'll be an
Yeah, and
interesting last race.
Jose's been putting in a lot of practice lately.
Yeah, and that's something I've noticed out of a lot of people, and I guess it's I don't know with anything. Once you find that itch that you're a little bit good at it, you're just like,
Hmm.
oh, I'm gonna get better. I'm gonna get better.
All it
I'm gonna
takes
get
is
better.
one.
Yeah, all it takes is one. That's right.
That's what happened to me.
What what one? One of what?
It's one race. That's all it took for me to get hooked.
Gotcha, gotcha. Moving on to Division 6, we see a big qualifying jump. Pole position, Durban Legacy, a 58.820. Second place, Henry Garcia, a 59.407. 6 tenths clear.
Yeah.
Aiden Grover in third place, a 59.735, another 3 tenths back. But astounding lap from Durban there. That's great. And once again, him and his teammate won 2 in qualifying and 1-2 in the race. Durban coming home 1 second clear of his teammate and 21 seconds clear of Aiden Grover in third place.
It's
But
the next country.
the race paces were all relatively close 2 minute point 0, 2 minute point 2, 2 minute point 5. So not too much variance, but
Mm-mm.
I guess the consistency and really fast pit entries can make a big difference on your race. And there's an example. And
Yeah.
I think it's part of why Durban has such an astounding lead in the championship right now.
Yeah, and I also uh, do think that Durban should be way higher than D6, but that's not for me to say. um,
His pace is definitely a little bit higher on some tracks,
yeah.
but everybody has those tracks where they overperform their true skill set. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like one
Yeah.
track you've either got the most mileage on or it just really works for you. Like another track that I know he likes really well is Watkins Glen. He can
Yes.
compete with the top of D1 and Watkins.
Yes, for
But
sure. He did the 6 hours of Watkins Glen the other few weeks ago with it was me, him, and Taylor, and he came in and just matched the same pace.
very
So
very fast driver when like Connor Farrell from the last division we were talking about when he finds a track that he likes or something that works for him,
yeah,
nobody's standing in his way.
for sure. And just a quick little shout out to Aiden Grover as well. He was super pumped about that. He was in every chat.
Heck yeah.
Um, had a great race. So good job, Aiden Grover, P5 in the standings. So heck of a season from Aiden.
Definitely. Definitely not in reach of the lead, and I don't think anybody is. Durban's got a 121 point lead to second place, so I think that's another championship we can lock out
I agree.
unless we come into drop races and math. But pretty darn close. And second place is a silver driver, so that would be the overall and the gold championships locked up. Henry Garcia, though, 486 in second place. Curtis Lee, 481 in third. Hacksaw in fourth, 454. Aiden Grover in fifth, 434. So second and third place are still very much up for grabs. And in the silver championship specifically, we got Henry Garcia in first, obviously 486. Harrison
Hmm.
Channing, 387. So 99 point gap. It's possible,
But
but I
it's
mean,
very
it's
difficult.
a big ask, Harrison. You got to win the race,
Yeah.
man. You got to win the race. And then Roger Rodriguez, shout out Champion Motorsports, in third place with 324. Only 2 points clear of Brett Swift, so still has some work to do, but up on the podium. And, you know, I got faith.
Heck yeah, anything could happen. That's gonna be our motto.
Exactly. Anything can happen. SRA. What?
Nothing. Don't worry about
All right.
it. Let's look at the team championship, shall we?
Yeah. Tell me about the team championship.
Well, there's not much to say except mechanical arithmetists are 315 points clear, so there's another one we can clean our hands of.
Lock 'em up.
Lock 'em up.
Lock
Lock
'em
'em
up.
up. Don't drop. Oh,
We've got a few
okay.
champions to announce we're worthy of an air horn.
I guess
Hey man, we're getting to that point in the season.
we are.
Might as well use some of our special effects for our champions.
Good on them. But yeah, there that is the team of Durban Legacy and Henry Garcia. And sitting in P2 is Champion Motorsports of Space Race Junkies. That would be Roger Rodriguez and Hacksaw. Like I said, 15 points back, which they are 100 points ahead of who is in P3, Yeet Co Logistics. That is Thomas Greer and Curtis Lee. So not completely impossible. Quite tough, though, to
Yeah,
overcome that deficit.
it's definitely a big ask, but two strong performances from both teammates, and you can make a big jump. But I think their bigger focus is staying ahead of P4, Aiden Grover, and Isaiah Hill, only what is that, 70 points behind, about the same situation, but a little bit
Yeah.
more attainable.
Mm-hmm. For sure. And then we got Armamentario Fugazio Racing rounding out the top five at the moment with Stephanie or Stephen. Wow, geez, Stephen Pellerin and Nate Andrew, 537 points back, which I think the gap to P4 is around 50 points. So
Just about.
just I mean, there's a
Still,
lot of ifs and buts and maybes.
yeah. So again, another exciting race to watch. Another battle for P2. It's kind of like F1. You got something is gonna happen, but there's still something else to watch.
For sure. And I mean, just if you look at what I just noticed about these teams, is that every single one of these teams up here in the top five is gold, silver.
That is true. Our
So
our first outlier to that is P6, and it's actually a silver team.
all silver. And then it goes our first gold, P7 though.
It's interesting to see the split teams, but
Yes.
ratings change all season long, so who knows where they were at the start of the season. And I mean,
Yeah.
with the way Henry's been performing, I don't think he should be a silver driver, that's for
I
sure.
agree. No, I 100% agree with you.
But anywho, that's okay. We're not here to argue over rating. We're excited that you guys did well.
I'll argue.
Okay. Division 5. Christian Lorenzo takes pole position with a 58.597. Martin Riggs in second place with a 59.287. So again, another pretty large gap. That's about 7/10 right there. Bobby Dockendorf in third place of 59.510. Martin Riggs found himself winning and a comfortable 7 seconds clear of Christian Lorenzo. Bobby Dockendorf did hold on to third place. And if I'm reading that correctly, only 3/10 behind.
Uh,
We got checking.
yes. It was only 3/10.
So that looks like it could have been a very close fight for P2. Gonna take a peek over at the rest of the standings here quickly. I want to see how far that stretched. Just those two. It was a clean 17 seconds back to Maxi Poe in fourth place. So Christian and Bobby were having themselves a little bit of fun there, fighting for P2, it seems.
They were. I did watch this.
You did. Tell me about it.
I did. Well, I mean, Christian Lorenzo, we kind of had our predictions after qualifying because he did qualify 7/10 clear of Martin.
Yeah.
So in our heads, we're going, oh, or not even in our heads, out loud, we kept saying, oh, this is Christian's race. He's gonna go. He's gonna be gone. Ends up before we even get to maggots on lap one, he drops down to P4.
All
Yeah.
right. All right.
He I asked him after the race, I said, what happened on lap one? He goes, I was just caught napping. I was messing with my pit strat. He goes, and all of a sudden he's like, I'm in P4. I don't know what happened. Martin Riggs had the jump on him and took about a 3 second lap after they got out of Chapel Corner. And kind of just sat there. Bobby Dock was playing defense like Dennis Rodman or something like that.
Bobby
So
Dock.
Bobby Dock,
I
that's what we
love
call
that.
him, down in the pinnacle of racing down there in D5.
Hell
But
yeah.
we we were sitting there like it's a matter of time. By the time Lorenzo catches Martin, Christian gets past Bobby Dock, and the gap just kind of sits. And Martin actually rose the gap to 5 seconds, um, all the way up into the pit window. Most of these guys pit with 5 minutes left, 5 7 minutes left, and Christian actually had a rather slow pit stop. Had what we talked about earlier, put the pit limiter on early so he didn't bottle it. Get the stop, go 30, drive through, whatever the penalty is.
Yep.
And Bobby Dock actually made up about 4 seconds on him because of it. Came out the pits and was about half a second behind him for 2 laps, and um, just wasn't enough. But Martin Riggs from out of nowhere, I'll tell you what.
Hell of a race and nice performance from the GT3 Evo. But Bobby Dock putting that Porsche to work.
Yeah,
That
Bobby Dock's had a great end of the season here. He's had some pretty good podiums. He had one last week, and I think the week before, if not, it was the week before that. So he's been doing really good. I was actually in the same practice server as Bobby Dock a few hours ago, and he was putting up times I was hoping to get. But um, him and Lorenzo, so they're both. I mean, even Riggs. I mean, I could be racing against these three for all we know.
if
But
if you were
yeah,
returning, we'd be seeing you in D5, is what you're saying.
pro- we don't know. Maybe either that or they'd be up in D2. One of the two.
One of the two,
Yeah.
man.
But yeah, jumping over to the standings though, kind of based off of this, Martin Riggs was sitting in P3 before this race, and due to a William Brown pit stop game bug, when they don't feel you, you go to put fuel in, but they
Oh,
don't feel you. Yeah. Uh, Pit on the very last lap, so he couldn't even pit again. Got the 130 seconds, dropped him down to P19, I think it was, and then Nick Cameron got caught up early, had a stop go 30.
oh,
So, yeah, Nick Cameron was sitting in P1, but with Martin's win and those two, P19 and like P21, I think it was, P22, Martin pulled out a 46-point gap, and it is now his championship to lose.
honestly, that's get a good finish in the last race. Like I don't know, 15 point positions ahead of Nick Cameron, and you're safe.
I think he
Or
said that he has to
less than
finish
15
15th,
points behind.
15th minimum, 15th.
Boom. That's very
So,
attainable.
yeah, I agree. And the way he's running around Valencia at the moment, I think he's very capable of winning again.
Completely agree. These early times are looking very spicy, and
Yes,
yeah, he's got a lot of pace. But
for
that's
sure.
that's the overall championship. Did we get to P3? Sorry, no,
P3, William Brown,
William Brown,
yep, did drop
442.
a little bit, but I mean, the top six currently within 100 points of each other still. So that just kind of goes to show you how tight it is. I mean, Bobby Dock and Christian Lorenzo sitting in P8 and P9, who have been respectfully two of the quickest in the division that are not even top five,
Yeah,
is kind of wild to talk about. Um, Pat Cockcroft has had some sneaky results. So P7 as well, just outside of that 100-point deficit. So it's
yeah.
been really, really fun to watch. Glad I've been able to be a part of D5 this season because they've put on a hell of a show.
Yeah, these lower divisions may not always have the fastest race pace or the hottest hot lap times, but they typically do produce the best racing.
For sure, and they have. So shout out D5.
Shout out D5. And just to look at the Silver Championship, Bobby's actually leading it right now. Christian in second place, and Maxi Poe in third, 91 points back from the lead. So those are the only three, I guess you could say, within contention of taking the Silver Championship. But it's going to come down to the last race for the top two.
Yeah,
Division 4. Scott Smith takes pole position with a 58.180. Ethan Marvin in second with a 58.532. And Johnny Air in third with a 58.550. In the race, Scott held on to take the win. Comfortable 21 second, 20, oh god, more than that,
way
27
more.
seconds but
Yeah,
clear of KB Smith in second place, and Ethan Marvin just 1 second behind, just about a second behind in third. I didn't get the chance to watch this race, but I mean, pretty close finishing result. KB Smith having the slowest of the pace of those three. Ethan actually having the fastest race lap at a 58.417 of those three, but still finding himself down in P3. Could be, like we were saying earlier, pit stop error, but I mean, as it's proving, lap one wasn't necessarily chaos, but if you weren't on your game, you were losing a lot of positions.
for sure.
Very easy to get swallowed at turn one.
Yeah. I mean, I knew Scott had won the race. I didn't realize he had won the race by that much.
Yeah, that's a pretty astounding win, and we don't normally see that large of victories this late in the season.
No, and it's funny because Martin Riggs and Scott Smith were teammates at the beginning of the season in D5,
Hmm.
and now they're both winning races in two different divisions.
There you go. Maybe
So
maybe next season they'll be back in the same division again and can
yeah,
team up once
D3.
again. Yeah, there you go. P3. Sounds about right though.
Yeah, for sure.
Taking a look at the championship, Corey Sircone is still your leader at 536. Max Diggs in second place at 525, and Gordon Beverly the third in third at 458. But Dawson Trembling in fourth at 443, still within range, only 93 points back. And Ethan Marvin in fifth rounds out the top five, 386. Have to travel a little bit down the board to find a silver driver though. Silver Championship Jitesh Katavkar is leading with 352. Matt Schmitzer in second with 319. Scott Smith in third, 307. Chris Sweeney in fourth, 305. And David Scusa in fifth at 302. So lots to play for in the Silver Championship, all the way down to Selena Boonstra in seventh place is within that 100-point range. So technically, but
Potential. That's very close actually. That silver battle.
yeah, the I don't know. It's gonna come down to who has the best performance out of all
Yeah,
of them, and how high up through the leaderboard can you find yourself.
and maybe a little help getting these people down the order to get a boost as well.
Agreed. Before we do team championships, I realized we skipped the D5 team championship.
Don't say we.
Me. I took us away from the
Jump the gun.
D5. Yeah, I know. I jumped the gun. That's okay. I'm scared of guns.
Oh,
Canadian things.
Canadian things.
In first place, Team Stardust, Bobby Dock, and Nick Cameron at 866 are 124 points clear of Champion Motorsports Electrified Hydration. So I think that is pretty close to wrapped up. I'm gonna not wrap it up just
Hmm.
because, anything can happen, drop races and shit. But you know, pretty sizable lead going into the last race. DJ Watson, Ryan Boissonneau in second at 742. And then in third place is Madhouse Racing of Pat Cockcroft and Darren Wicks at 662. So still a little bit of a little bit of work if they want to find themselves in P2, 80 points, but still attainable. Still attainable. Even
And it is a 17-point gap to the car behind with
that
Champion Motorsports Ohio, Connie Yuzierski, and William Brown, 221. Like I said, 17 points back. So any mistake, and they're there for that final podium spot.
for sure. Be cool to see two Champion Motorsports teams in the top three, but I'm no bias over here. I just cheer.
I don't know. Sounds pretty biased.
Sounds pretty biased. What's your team called? It's so irrelevant
Uh,
we don't even know.
no habla inglés.
Ah, exactly.
I'm just kidding. Ghost Rider Racing, brother. Know the name, get it tatted on the booty cheek.
I'll pass. I shall pass.
That's what I thought.
Pass with every skip card I have in my Uno deck.
You're not worthy.
Moving back over to Division 4. Team Championship. Dawson Trembling and Gordon Beverly in first place with Start Your Systems Mighty Morphin Rangers, 901 points. 61 points back is Baseline Racing to Uranus, Corey Sircone and Jobri GTG, 840 points. And Lunar Lone Star Motorsports in third, Max Diggs and Selena Boonstra at 791. Madhouse Racing, Scuderia T-Rex Racing, 687 in fourth. And Plan E Vengeance X Podium Hunters, crazy name, in fifth with 671. Still lots to play for. Just don't say anything.
Sorry.
I know it's just so jaw dropping.
I know. I'm trying to do some math. I'm not.
I'll give you time.
We're good. Uh, I mean, it's not super close, but it's also not super far
No.
between the top three there. It's kind of about an even split between the top three, 60 to 50 to 60 points each way. So, gonna repeat myself and say you never know what could happen. Anything could happen.
Exactly. Valencia shall be eventful for all the divisions.
Yeah.
Division 3. Brian Ryder takes pole with a 58.0. Max Simmons in second with a 58.317. And Matt Anastasi in third with a 58.350. In the race, we managed to hold that same positioning. Brian Ryder coming home 3 seconds clear of Max Simmons, but only 5/10ths clear of Matt Anastasi. So, a eventful way to finish that race out. All of their race paces almost the same. Brian and Matt Anastasi almost having the same fastest lap, just 400ths different.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. D3 might as well just be called D2.5 for
Exactly.
how much pace they have down there. It's like, yeah, you're D3, but you're not much different than what they are in D2. Just looking off the times that we've got here and what we've seen and heard from D3 this season,
Mhm.
it's equally as competitive.
It's definitely a just an extension of D2.
Yeah,
Like you said, they
basically.
pretty much doing the exact same times. You could interchange half the grids and it'd stay just as competitive.
Yeah.
Looking at the championships, Max Simmons in first place, 552 points, 15 points clear of Doug Mitchell in second, and Brian Ryder in third at 481, 71 points back, rounds out those inside that 100-point gap. Matt Anastasi in fourth at 445, and Fire Queso at 386 round out your top five. But your silver championship is actually just as close and just as far away, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
Enrique Listosa in first place at 376. Jack Polyak 40 points back at 337. North Valley in third at 288, 88 points back. Jordan White in fourth, 267, 109 points back. And Mike Gino in fifth place at
Let's go, Mike.
246. Let's go, Mike. Bring it home.
Yeah,
Could
he
see.
unfortunately missed this week, though. Unfortunately,
I mean, to miss the most recent week, that's a pretty
actually,
strong
he's
drop
missed
race
2
then.
races this season. No,
Wow. Mike should be winning this
so
championship, is what you're telling me.
it'd be pretty close. Him and Jack were pretty close at one point. So
He's got the pace, so a solid last race could land him up on that podium.
if he participates,
If he participates, it'd be nice, but sometimes life gets in the way.
will we see a Douglas Mitchell on top next week?
I think we might, but it may only be in the team series, as him and team championship, as him and Jared Seckham are in first at 800 points, 124 points clear of Dustin Fickert and Fire Queso. Planet Express Deliveries, I don't think has any opportunity to catch to the moon in this final race here,
Yeah, those two are pretty wickedly quick.
definitely. But the battle for P2 is still alive. Start Your Systems Prancing Horses in third at 6:15 is only 61 points back, and TSE Ferrari Meister Blan is only 76 points back. So, still a lot to play for. Shuttle Riders Racing is another 50 points back from TSE, but again, actually that's a solo
Dang,
team.
I was gonna say that's a solo guy in P5
How does he have 500
because he's
552
leading
points?
the championship. That's
Oh
how.
damn.
Yeah, that's how.
That's crazy. Wait a
I've never
minute.
seen that before.
Wait a minute. If he wins the next race, he could get on the podium of the team championship.
That is wild.
Wait, no, can he? Is my math right?
48. He
Yeah,
needs
a hundred po- a
seven,
hundred points would put him 40
63.
points clear of third place.
If they don't race, though. Don't race or get 0 points.
I don't know. It'll be an interesting stat to look at the end of that
Yeah,
championship. I did not notice that until now.
that's pretty wild.
What a performance. Talk about putting the team on your back.
Exactly. You don't need a teammate.
Exactly. Division 2, Herman Valencia takes pole position with a 58.080. Brian Anderson in second with a 58.205. And C. Looper in third with a 58.220. In the race, Herman ran away, but not too far, actually. It seemed like he ran away because at the start,
It was a
they
gap.
were there, but then
It was a gap.
he pulled a pretty sizable gap. I didn't know
Yeah.
that it got that close at the end because
Yeah, I think he had a slow pit stop.
Ian went silent on us,
Ah,
so he didn't really tell
that's
us too
why.
much that went on.
1.6 seconds.
I guess so. But
Yeah.
Ian Wheeler in second place, 1.6 seconds back, and C Looper in third, another 2 seconds back from him. But D2 was pretty eventful. A little bit of a smaller grid. I think it was like 26 people, something like that.
28, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but sub 30 people. Um, lap one was relatively clean, but a couple people died. Like I said, shout out Wow, who had a outstanding comeback drive from facing the opposite direction on lap one to finishing out close to the top 20. But overall, I mean, it was good. I tried to line up a switchback and ate a sausage curb, so
Mm.
doesn't it's crunchy, doesn't feel
Guten
good on the
Tag.
teeth. Guten Tag, no,
Sausage.
no,
No.
bratwurst.
Bratwurst.
Yeah,
Yeah. I didn't race much, but yeah, it was an interesting race. A lot of everybody was pretty quick. I'll tell you what.
yeah. The race pace was really fast,
Yeah.
and even even those that were battling, like it didn't drop as far as you would have expected. Like there was still a drop in pace, but it seemed like I don't know, there was a little bit less caution,
Yeah.
just kind of full send. But
But it wasn't too bad, surprisingly.
yeah, clean full send is always acceptable here.
Yes.
In the Drivers' Championship, JD Daniel holds the lead right now, 581 points, is 81 points clear of Herman Valencia with a clean 500, and Michael Louis in third place at 463 points, Brandon Chan in fourth at 380, and Brian Anderson in fifth at 376. It's essentially JD's championship to lose. Maybe a no-show or a no point could lead Herman to take the silver and overall championship, but pretty well locked out there. Michael Louis does have a good chance at getting the P2 position, but a pretty sizable gap behind him to Brandon Chan at like just about 90 points.
Yeah.
Shout out the commentators. Bailey Kish currently sitting in 17th place at
Easy there.
263 points. Is only 20 points behind Al Latufo and 10 points clear of Matthew Schwartz.
Whew.
And myself in 24th place at
Hmm.
212 points is 7 points back from Chris Stefiuk and 30 points back from driver 48.
Hmm. That one must hurt.
Sorry, sorry. 30 points ahead of driver 48.
Hmm.
So, we're good there.
Just don't let Driver 48 beat you.
We'll do our best.
He's like the Nicholas Latifi of Division Two.
If Nicholas
The
Latifi once in
GOAT.
a while had a chance of being really fast.
Yeah, true.
Paulie had a really good qualifying last night, but unfortunately had some lap 1 incidents and didn't get to reap the rewards of that.
Unlucky, mate.
Yeah, very unlucky.
Yeah,
But Silver Championship definitely locked out. Herman Valencia, 155 points clear of Sergio Torres in second, and Eric Boardman is just 6 points back of him in third place. Guy Manperson in fourth, another 20 points back, and Al Latufo, uh, another 30 points back from Guy. Quick math.
quick math.
So a little bit less to play for in D2, but still going to lead to a very eventful last race.
For sure. Are you gonna sneak into that top 10?
I
Pretty
would.
close. 9 points.
I want to, man. I'm very hashtag depressed at my current standings right now. If I'm gonna be personal, I went from top 3 to top 5 to not even top 10 in silver. So it's kind of like a kick in the face.
He's retiring. He's getting old.
Exactly. Nah, I mean, realistically, it's pretty close even in the silver championship, but yeah, I'd like to get inside the top 10.
You got this. I believe in you.
What about yourself?
What is my goal?
Are you gonna get inside the top 10?
The gap's pretty big,
52
but we'll
points.
see. Yeah, Looper's pretty quick.
Looper has been performing really well, but
Yeah.
Travis Robinson not having the best luck sometimes. Victor Diaz unfortunately getting in there. An
Oh,
unlucky
I didn't even
pair of
see how close they
Porsches.
were. Yeah, I didn't realize they were those three were 5 points apart.
Another 1 point apart. Holy cow.
Let me just go in Valencia really quick.
Just go in real hard.
Should be pretty easy. But yeah, we'll see. The goal was a team championship for us anyway, but falling a little short.
Just a little bit, but that is okay. A valiant effort nonetheless. In the lead right now, Herman Valencia and Sergio Torres, two silver drivers at 845 points. For TSE Zoom Carzoom. In second place, TSE Vroomy McVroomface, JD Daniel, Jared Troxclair, 6 points back.
Oof.
And in third, Flat Earth Racing, Eric Boardman and Michael Louie, 43 points back. Fourth, Honest Speed Shop Racing, 195 points back from the lead. That's Colin Dunham and Colin Matiak. The double Colin effect.
Yeah.
And
Big
in
Colin.
And in fifth, the two Porsches that sit 1 point apart from each other, Trav Robinson and Victor Diaz for the Hooligans. 206 points back from the lead.
Pretty
Yeah,
close.
I mean,
Yeah.
the lead, it's in conglomerate, but that's not, I don't think there's going to be any team orders going on there. I think
No,
that's just going to be some hard racing, so,
that's gonna be like go out there and win it. Whoever wants it, go get it.
yep. And don't count out Boardman and Michael Louie. Been
Nope.
charging pretty hard in these last few races, and
Yep.
are definitely some of those drivers who can capitalize if you slip.
100%. 100%.
Hunt. Division 1 qualifying sees the consistent Matt Lehman take pole position, 57.255. Wow. That was it
Jesus.
was an extremely fast lap to watch, and it left most speechless. But
57 2.
like that was, we joked about if we were gonna see 56s, and I'm like, yeah, we might get low 57s. I don't know about 56, but yeah, wow, 3/10 clear of Chilcutt in second place of 57.535, and Javier Marquez in third of 57.627. In the race, Lehman did hold on to take the win, 3 seconds clear of Jeremy Mercer, who was 2 seconds clear of Alex Chilcutt. Fastest lap does go to Chilcutt though. Him and Lehman were pretty much trading that lap back and forth throughout the race, but
Hmm.
it was Matt's race to lose. He just as we've seen him perform in the past when he's in his groove of like winning races and being up at the top of performance, he just kind of locks in and goes. Like his pace is the same all race, and not many can touch him.
No, he never really makes a mistake.
No, and I don't even think he had a handful of valid lap or invalid laps, I should say.
Jeez.
Doesn't have a
Yeah.
handful of valid laps. That's a problem. But yeah, no, very consistent race from Matt, and it's definitely why he's brought himself to within 1 point of the Division One championship.
Yeah.
Jeremy Mercer 568, Matt Lehman 567, and Michael Menning 503, 65 points back from the lead. The championship of Division 1 is going to come down to the final race of the season between Lamborghini and McLaren. Peter O'Brien in fourth place, 428, 140 back from the lead. So that's 80 points back from third place, and Mr. Sir in fifth at 420 points. Driver who I remember being in D2 last season at the start of the season, making a huge jump all the way up to being at the top and an alien rating. So,
Yeah, Mr. Sir's nuts.
heck of a progression right there. Looking at the Silver Championship specifically, Nate Specht has brought himself up to the lead at 338, 5 points clear of Michael Griffith in second place, and 42 points clear of Jeffrey Bray in third. Dan Cran in fourth, 71 points back, and Dylan Stallworth in fifth, 104 points back. So the two champion motorsports McLarens have given themselves a very spicy fight for the last race of the season.
Yeah, that is crazy. Crazy close.
Didn't even realize that. But something that something that's a little bit less close is the team championship. But I guess it will be decided with how they perform in their final race of the season. TSC Vroom Car Drive in first place, Jeremy Mercer and Peter O'Brien, 91 points clear of Nate and Matt. So if they find themselves up at the top of the leaderboard and win their respective divisions, it could also be securing the ticket for them to bring home the team championship as well. It
It
might
could
take a
be.
1-2.
It could be. But Jeremy Mercer has been so good and so consistent that that's going to be tough.
It has been. I haven't seen the leaderboards too much. I don't know. Like maybe the Lambo doesn't like Valencia. It seems like it's a track that's gonna like something that has a lot of aero, and the
Hmm.
McLaren is extremely slippery and nimble on its feet.
Yep.
So I think it may perform very well for them. But that Lambo has been an absolute underdog this season. With
Uh,
I think it's an underdog.
just looking at the current hot lap leaderboard, uh, there's not very many Lambos to be seen.
Yeah, there's one in second place, a 30.7, but just 2/10 clear of Matt Lehman himself. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Hey, all I got to do is go quicker than Jeremy Mercer, and if he wins D1, dude, I could say I'm the D1 champion. Easy.
all right, all right.
Too easy.
Hey, I guess that works.
Yeah. But we'll see. That is gonna be very tough
Yeah, it's
for one of those two guys to get a zero or a bad result. So
for sure. It's gonna be a very eventful last race. There's probably gonna be a lot of fireworks going on in that D1 race specifically.
yeah,
But Valencia seems like it's gonna have a lot in store for its first trip in SRA.
for sure. And I actually do have a fun fact before we move on to Valencia. We have 6 McLaren Evos in SRA across all divisions. 3 of them won last week at Silverstone.
Jeez.
Yeah. So 50% of the Evos won at Silverstone.
And guess what? We got another BOP update today, and no nerf for the McLaren. So,
Uh-oh.
but a global turbo boost for the Ferrari. So that should be interesting.
Yeah. We'll see.
Could definitely feel it in the torque,
Mm-hmm.
but might help some of the Ferrari drivers. I know a lot of them have been complaining with the way the car feels off the start. Feels really boggy, which I kind of get that, but every car's different. They all
Yeah.
got their quirks.
They can't always be the best at everything.
Yeah, exactly. It's good at the corners, not good at the straight lines. That's why
Yes.
it's a race car.
Well, luckily for them, Valencia's got a lot of corners.
It does, yeah. We don't have a proper working track map right now, but we do have part of the
Oh,
graphic.
cool track, bro.
Thanks, bro. We can tell you that it's 14 turns and 4 kilometers long. It's yeah, it's got an interesting mix of like corners that shouldn't count as corners, and also like
Kinks.
weird kinks that lead into each other. It's got a decent amount of elevation change to it, but it's very much a flow. It feels like it's very much a flow-driven track.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's I wonder what it's going to be like to battle cars here.
Yeah.
Probably gonna be very tough to get back into like a hot lapping feel after that, especially like a lap 1 through 4 situation, and then get
Yeah.
into free air.
I think we're going to see a lot of overtaking in specific corners and a lot of just waiting for a lot of the laps. I think we'll see a lot of overtakes into turn two, which will be that first tight hairpin-esque corner. Um,
Mhm.
and then I'm going to guess down into turn eight after you get onto that mini back straight,
Yeah, I could see that as well. That
down into there.
even though that does have that kink to the left, I mean, if you've got a little bit of a better run out of the tight hairpin that leads onto it, you could very well push the envelope into that hairpin.
Yeah. And I think this track will definitely pick you apart if you make a mistake. I think it will open the door significantly for anybody behind to pounce on a mistake. It is pretty pretty brutal, I think, on tires, um, and with how hot it's going to be from the practice session that I've been in. It's been running 26:33 for almost every session I've been in. So
That's hot.
I think it's gonna take a beating on the tires.
It's not no Spain pain, but or was it Barcelona or was it Spa where we had like brutally hot temperatures?
Probably Barcelona,
But
like 40.
it was something like that where the admins were
Yeah,
trying to destroy us.
I think that's Barcelona. Yeah,
But yeah, it's still going to be a toasty one and definitely tough on the tires, especially with the fact that people have less practice here, so you're not as perfected with
hmm
being super smooth, knowing your lines in and out. But it's just going to add to the excitement, right?
yeah, I think so as well.
And with and with that, I think I'm going to get myself ready to do some practice laps for the
Some
night.
more?
Yeah, man. It's only 9 o'clock. The night is young. It's a Friday. Don't work tomorrow.
Ooh,
Sadly, no golf tomorrow, but it's raining,
oh,
so not much I can do about it. So
dang! I could really use some rain.
I'll give you some.
I
I'm
haven't
tired
had
of it.
rain since May.
Oh shit, that's not healthy. You
It's
should
been
see it.
like mid-May, dude.
Your state should see a doctor.
Yeah, well, they just want to take our money in taxes, so
Tell them to use it for on one of those weather machines where they make the clouds so it can rain.
Claudia with a chance of meatballs.
Hey, good movie. Good movie.
Great movie.
Great movie.
Ratatouille.
Also a good movie.
A great movie. Classics.
So before we give out our entire collection of top hits, it's 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 been a slice as always, and we'll see you next week.
Oh man, I love you guys. Bye.